Yes,
You have
sir.
the floor, Kate.
Good afternoon sa ating lahat. I would like to introduce myself. I am Kate Raka. And before I surrendered, I was previously the political officer of Bienvenido Valleber Command, NPA Palawan. And I operated in both northern and southern Palawan, sir. And however, my recruitment into the NPA would not happen if I wasn't recruited into Alay Sining UP Diliman and Stand UP and USP.
UP Diliman ka?
Yes. My recruitment into the NPA started when I entered the University of the Philippines, Diliman. I was a freshman in 2014, ma'am. So I was a freshman taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English in the UP College of Education. And our batch of freshmen was the first to start with the academic calendar shift. It was 2014. And we were being handled by the UP College of Education Student Council, then Chairperson Kevin Castro. It was August 2014 when we started classes, so that's Kevin. And he was a student at the college and a proud member of Alay Sining Eduk. Alay Sining Eduk was a cultural activist mass organization based at our college. And seeing that I was a student leader, I stood out. He recruited me along with most of my batchmates into Alay Sining Eduk. And eventually, we were told part of the membership process was to take up these educational discussions or EDs called Maikling Kurso sa Lipunan at Rebolusyong Pilipino, MKLRP, Espesyal na Kursong Masa, SCOOM, and then Araling Aktivista or ARAC. And within these EDs or educational discussions, as a sheltered Catholic high school girl, no, medyo mind-blowing siya for me because we were taught first na in order to change, na there are problems in society, blah, 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 there are classes. And in order to change society, Notre Dame of Greater Manila, ma'am.
Where is that?
In Caloocan, a Catholic school. And imagine being taught that to resolve these problems in society, you have to overthrow the government. So medyo ano siya, no? Full-on revolution. As early as 16 years old, freshman, that was what I heard. So for me, I was trying to stay open, and slowly I was being agitated as well. Because they showed me pictures of farmers in areas na hindi sila pinapayagang magsaka. So, if you had somewhat of a heart, makaawa ka din. So as early as 16, medyo very affected by these educational discussions. By November, since I was receptive to their discussions, I was recruited into the underground National Democratic Front Organization for the Youth, which is Kabataang Makabayan. So ang orientation sa amin dyan is, this is secret, you can't tell anyone, even your parents. So when we had meetings after classes, I had to lie to my parents na, I was going to student council. Pero totoo, I was in KM na. And within these activities by KM, we were being told to
Ganyan rin yung anak ko noon eh. Nag-aaral. Taglalay. Sabi ko, sige, flow-in kita. Ayaw sabi sa akin ng totoo. Natakot sa akin yung anak ko. Yun na, huminto na. Hindi na sumasama sa mga meeting-meeting nila. Yun. Sige, please continue.
And then after that, yung mga discussions na ng KM is about the NPA na. So if you're a member of KM, you have to directly support the NPA in principle and in action. So while member ako ng Alay Sining, I was also a member of KM na. And we were told na within Alay Sining, we have to recruit more Alay Sining and then more KM. So you have to support yung idea na ng NPA. And eventually, further on, in the months to come, we would conduct activities to gather support for NPA units. We would implement this project called Adopt a Front. So KM chapters would adopt guerrilla fronts to provide financial, moral, material support for NPA units. For the Alay Sining Eduk, which had the KM chapter inside, we supported a guerrilla front in Lucio de Guzman Command, Mindoro. So we provided them network of safe houses in Metro Manila that they can hide injured NPA rebels. in, and then we provided medical supplies like gunshot wound kits and hygiene kits. That's what I remember na. Sinuport namin sa Mindoro, no? That's all. And later on, I would be recommended and recruited into the Communist Party of the Philippines as a leader. And doon ko makikita yung in a wider perspective yung program no ng Communist Party sa recruitment ng youth into NPA. Doon ko ma-learn within the policies of the Communist Party na hindi pwedeng maputol ang recruitment ng youth into these mass activist organizations kasi doon manggagaling yung pool of recruits into the NPA. So example, you will recruit 100 students into Alay Sining. Kailangan at least 20% nun ma-recruitment to the NPA. There's a quota. There's a quota. So kung 100 yan, ma-recruit mo into Alay Sining, at least 60% ma-recruit mo into KM. And from that KM pool, may ma-recruit ka into Communist Party and eventually the NPA.
Yes, parang sinasabi mo, we have to nip it in the bud.
Yes.
Nip in the bud.
Yes, sir.
Sa pag-start pa lang dapat may hinto na. But the problem now is we cannot criminalize
Yes.
yung recruitment into that sining,
Alay Sining.
alay sining. Hindi natin makriminalize yan.
Sir.
Hanggat hindi pero yun nga, part of the process sila eh.
Yes.
That's, yan
Integral.
importante ngayon, ma-establish talaga natin yung link towards yung process,
Yes.
towards becoming an armed combatant. So
Yes.
kung hanggang saan natin pwede i-criminalize yung recruitment na yan. Kasi pagpasok ko dyan, parang recruitment person na yan eh.
Yes, sir.
Di ba? Nakakover lang sila under the guise of legal organizations.
Yes, sir.
Please continue.
It would be, so we're talking about 2014, 2015. I joined the NPA 2019. I surrendered in 2021, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was NTF-ELCAC. Then again, I surrendered to Marine troops in
Saan?
Palawan.
Marines?
To Marine
Okay.
troops, yes.
Marines?
Yes.
Okay.
To Marine troops in 2021 after such a bad encounter wherein one of my former comrades died. And then I thought of surrendering na kasi we were told na there's a program for surrenderies, and there is. And I'm very happy no, na nakita yung sincerity ng government through NTF-ELCAC no sa now. I'm currently training to be an officer in the Marine Corps, Philippine Marine Corps.
Very good. Very good.
Shout out kay Brigadier General Lorida. And thank you, sir, for recruiting me. And to Sir Lacuesta and Sir Heli.
So anong magandang recruitment? Recruitment ng NPA o recruitment ng Marines?
Marines, sir.
Wala eh. So dapat yun, as early as now, dapat magising.
Yes, sir.
Magising natin mga kabataan. Magising
Actually,
natin mga kabataan. Huwag kayong
Totoo yan,
magpuloko
sir.
dyan sa NPA. Walang pupuntahan yung buhay nyo dyan. Kung gusto nyo humawak ng armas, pumasok kayo sa Marines,
Yes.
pumasok kayo sa Army, pumasok kayo sa lahat ng branches of government kung saan nyo gusto. Pumasok kayo sa Philippine National Police. Di ba?
Actually, sir, I think if I was recruited earlier, no, kung may recruitment kung pinapayagan lang sana yung AFP mag-recruit within the University of the Philippines, sa tingin ko hindi na ako nag-NPA. Kasi with the heart to serve, no, with the heart to serve talaga, nauunahan lang talaga ng NPA yung mga estudyante na recruitin. With the heart to serve, I think I would be earlier into the Marines. So, continuing, by June 2018, no, I would be organizing for Kabataang Makabayan an exposure trip into NPA camp. So they call this the Tour of Duty Integration Program. No, I would be deployed into NPA Lucio B. Guzman Command, entering an NPA camp through Mansalay, Mindoro, and then ayun, marami kaming batch. Actually, yung ibang mga batch doon namatay sila Joe Lapira. Yun, kasabay ko sila pumasok into NPA camps. 3 batch kami, one in Batangas, one in Quezon, and our batch was in Mindoro. And then the program talaga for these integration programs is recruitin sila. So you would try 6 weeks na mag-integrate into NPA camp, bibigyan kanila ng issue-an kanila ng M16, and then the program was kanang bumalik sa university, hence the missing children. Ang program din is mag full-time NPA fighter ka na. So, yun ang program talaga ng KM, and they were actually a bit mad na bumalik pa ako sa UP. Sabi ko, oh, I can't commit full-time pa sa NPA kasi gusto ko graduate sa course ko. So, sabi ko, by June 2018, babalik ako para graduate and then I'll join the NPA, which I did. I graduated.
Nakagraduate ka?
Yes.
Very good.
Thanks.
So, galing ka na sa bundok, ha?
Yes, sir. Galing na.
Thank you, thank you.
So I graduated, sir, in June 2019. And then I joined the NPA by July. I joined NPA Palawan, entered Northern Palawan, and then was deployed into Southern Palawan, where I had an encounter September 3, 2020 with Marine troops. 5 high-ranking officials were neutralized, and then I was next in line. So na-dismantle yung buong guerrilla front. So it's true, no? Successful talaga ang NTF-ELCAC sa pag dismantle ng guerrilla fronts. Successful ang AFP, no? Dismantled one guerrilla front, that's Southern Palawan, and then I was deployed to Northern Palawan. By 2021, we had another encounter, December 10, and then na-dismantle na yung buong Northern Palawan. And then, wala na talaga. Wala nang troops sa Palawan. Kaya yung recruitment video kanina sabi ko, that's a lie. Wala nang Palawan. Wala nang NPA sa Palawan. We were the last. So, there.
Part of their propaganda yun. Lumakasuli.
Ako nga, nagsisinungaling sila.
To deceive the youth.
They're
Niloloko
deceiving.
yun.
Oo. Pinapakita na marami.
Kahit na wala na tayong kasama
Yes.
doon, tayo na.
Pinapakita na meron pa. Pinapakita na.
Yung
No?
tao na yan.
Ang dami lang
Wala.
ano eh.
Niloloko lang talaga ng mga kabataan.
Yes. Yung
Ayun
picture
na.
na yun sa Palawan, sir, that was taken, I think, 2014. Yun na yung last time na nakaabot ng ganun karami yung Palawan. At our time, nung na-dismantle yung guerrilla front sa North, we were only 7. And I was the only female. No. So, lies na talaga, no? Kung sasali pa talaga ng NPA after watching that, those are lies. No, yung picture na yun sa Palawan, that's not true. Katakot. Meron po, pwedeng mag-asawa. Pwedeng mag-asawa sa NPA, but it's a very difficult process. I'd rather not. Yun. So, after the encounter in Rojas, Palawan, December 10, 2021, I surrendered on December 11. And then, to Marine troops, actually, they had attempts to recover me from the Marines. Several members of the youth rallied to release me. Yan. Hence, like what they did before. So they can, babalik na rin nila yung kwento na kunyari, nahuli lang ako, hindi ako NPA. But they did not succeed kasi my mother and I, nagkasundo na kami na I would undergo through the whole radicalization process. So, although they campaigned for me, now they cannot deny that I am one of them. And
Sandali. Ibalik mo nga. Pakibalik yung release Kate Raka.
As if I was
Underground Mobilization Commission on Human Rights.
nag-rally sila.
Anong kasama ang human rights dyan? Sa rally na yan?
Doon sila nag-rally sa tapat ng human rights.
Sa
Yes.
location niya, location.
Yes. And that is why yung 3rd Marine Brigade, no, tinawag nila mismo yung Commission on Human Rights doon sa headquarters ng brigade to tell everyone na I'm doing this on my own volition. No. I'm here because I want to surrender and I don't want to be ever returned back to that place again. Kasi kapag ni-release ako, for sure, yung karapatan Southern Tagalog, dadalhin ako sa next available guerrilla front. That's what would happen, no, if I did not surrender. So they said, treat me as prisoner of war, blah, blah, blah. Let me have my time in court. But I know that's not the real intention. So that's what happened to me. And that was why I had to go sa custody ng Marines kasi they're trying to take me back through those campaigns. Ayan, sir. So, lahat yan halos ng student organizations campaigned for my release. Anak Bayan, League of Filipino Students, curious, no, bakit may pakialam sila sa NPA. Pero these are youth student organizations campaigning for my release. Basically because I am one of them. And the whole process, it's integral, no? Being member of those organizations, integral. Yan.
I have to leave because I will have a
Yes, ma'am.
amendment mamaya to my bill. I have to study. Anyway, I'm so glad to meet all of you, and I hope you will have a very
Thank you,
good
ma'am.
future in government.
Thank you, ma'am.
Salamat, ma'am. Thank you very much for attending this hearing. Please continue, Kate.
Lastly, in hindsight, I can say that my recruitment into the NPA began the moment I was recruited into Alay Sining. The connection is not coincidental. I found out as I lasted 7 years into the movement that the design of recruitment and radicalization programs began the moment I entered the mass organization Alay Sining. The quota, no, the quota, from Alay Sining members into KM members and eventually Communist Party members and eventually NPA members. So that is a process that is integral for the NPA to exist and to continue to exist. So,
You're from there.
yan. So the whole process of radicalization occurs in schools because it is the CPP's program. And I think there has to be a way to penalize this. I don't know yet exactly how, but we have to hold them accountable. Kasi kung kaya nga nila i-rally-rally na maraming namamatay sa hazing, kaya kailangan anti-hazing law, mas maraming namamatay sa pag-NPA, sir.
Correct.
That's all, sir. Thank you. I hope that my story, kung ano man ang marating ng ating efforts today, I think the most that I can hope for is sana yung mga currently nire-recruit ay makinig sa mga kwento namin. Kasi kahit yun na lang kumbaga, wag na sanang mangyari sa kanila yung nangyari sa amin. Kasi cargo de konsensya namin yun as previous members, no? And we can only hope that they listen to our stories because we're not red tagging, we're telling the truth. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Kate Raka. Salamat. Maraming yung nakikinig ngayon, maraming mapupulot na leksyon sa yung mga pinagsasabi mo. Thank you sa iyong testimonya. Next, sinong next magsalita? Alma Gabin. You have the floor, Al.
Good afternoon po, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon sa lahat ng nandito. Ako si Alma Gabin, kilala ko na Ka-Joy, Ka-Janel, from Eastern Visayas po ako, sir. 16 years po ako sa Kilusan, sa CPP-NP, NDF, and ako yung third ranking official ng Eastern Visayas Regional Party Committee bago po ako nahuli noong June 2020. And
Anong edad mo pumasok?
16 years old, sir.
16 years old.
Opo, sir.
Ano eskwelahan?
UP Tacloban, sir.
UP Tacloban. Please continue.
Nagsimula po ako sa Kilusan nung first day po ng school namin, sir. Ni-require kami na mag-attend ng anti-corruption rally. Tapos pinagawa po kami ng reaction paper, and from there may mga nag-organize na po ng iba't ibang organization. Kaya sumali po ako doon sa Student Christian Movement of the Philippines kasi yung nagre-recruit that time was the president of the Student Council. Tapos siya rin yung president ng SCMP. And yun nga, kasi sumama ako doon, nakagawa naman ako ng medyo palaban po na reaction paper na isinabmit ko sa aming teacher. So, sa SCMP po, every day meron kaming Bible sharing. Tapos, ang ginagawa po, kumukuha po doon ng passage, tapos inire-relate doon sa issues, hindi lang sa school, kundi doon sa mga karatig na communities ng UP Tacloban. Tapos, pinag-aambag-ambag po kami ng 5 pesos or kung magkano po yung kaya naming iambag. That time po, since meron naman akong allowance from UP, may allowance pa po nun, nagbibigay ako everyday. Kaya lang medyo nagtataka ako kung saan napupunta. Kaya nagtanong din ako after a month, pero hindi po nila sinagot doon sa aming cell. Cell kasi yung tawag sa Bible group namin. At pinag-aral muna ako nila ng libro, yung binanggit kanina ni Kuya Noel na MKLRP. So hindi po ako formally diniskasan, hindi po ako nila tinuruan, bagkus ay pinabasa po sa akin tapos inano nila ako, ni-review after a week kung ano yung tingin ko doon sa libro. Sabi ko, nangyayari naman po yung mga ganon, yung mga problema ng Pilipinas. Pero I think hindi pwede yung armed struggle. Doon na po nag-open up, yung nag-recruit po mismo sa akin sa SCMP, siya rin yung nag-open up sa akin sa Kabataang Makabayan, yung underground organization. Sabi niya, bakit ayaw mong maniwala? Ang dami na nating ginawa ng mga rally, wala namang nangyayari, kailangan talaga ng armed struggle. So nag-open up po ako, sir, na actually yung tatay ko ay dating NPA. Pero pinalaya siya doon sa area nila, kaya hindi na bumalik. So definitely, hindi ako pwedeng mag-NPA, 'di ba? Pero yun, twinist din nila, sir, sabi nila, dati pa naman yun, pwede ka pa namang mag-appeal once maging active ka sa loob ng Kabataang Makabayan. Kaya yun, hindi po doon sa mga libro muna yung nag-convince sa akin na sumali sa Kabataang Makabayan, kundi doon sa personal interest ko na makapag-appeal sa kaso ng tatay ko. Kasi pag active daw ako, makakapag-appeal ako doon sa kaso. And
Anong purpose mo para mag-appeal?
para po makabalik siya doon sa lugar nila. Kasi pinalaya siya, sir.
As plain civilian.
Yes, sir.
Hindi na appeal na para bumalik sa
Hindi
Kilusan.
po, sir. Oo,
Appeal na para makabalik.
para makapagsaka ulit, makuha niya yung output ng yung mga ani doon.
Dahil may chance na papatayin rin siya kung babalik siya doon.
Opo, sir.
Ganon ang iniisip mo. Kaya ka gusto mag-appeal para hindi mapatay yung tatay mo
Yung
kung babalik
kasi
doon.
yung policy, sir, na yung sabi sa akin ni tatay na pag bumalik siya doon without the consent ng NPA unit, talagang papatayin siya.
Okay.
Kaya yun yung ano ko, motive para sumali doon sa case.
Napakabait mo na anak. Mahal na mahal mo yung tatay mo.
Supposedly po, sir, pero
Oo.
napariwara po ako.
Paano ka napariwara?
Ayun nga po, sir, after ko mag-join ng Kabataang Makabayan, doon na yung formal studies. So, inaral namin ulit yung MKLRP, ESCOM, ARAC, tas ako na yung nagdi-discuss sa iba. And eventually, may program kami sa Kabataang Makabayan na mag-recruit kasi Eastern Visayas during that time, nung 2001, under recovery siya. So, kailangan naming mag-recruit. Sabi nga ni Kate kanina, may quota. Dun sa amin, mas mataas yung quota. Every month, dapat 15 na Kabataang Makabayan yung ma-recruit namin. So, hindi po namin yun mahanap sa loob ng UP kasi 900 lang yung student ng UP Tacloban that time. Kaya may tasking sila sa akin na, Alma, mag-organize ka sa ibang schools. It's just that hindi ko po pwedeng dalhin yung SCMP sa iba't ibang schools para po magmukha daw na marami yung organization na nagsusupport sa mga issues ng lipunan. At para may maraming avenue na mare-recruit yung Kabataang Makabayan. Kaya kahit SCMP po ako sa LIT, EBSO na ngayon, Eastern Visayas State University, ang pakilala ko doon at yung ino-organize ko na organization ay League of Filipino Students. Tapos yung katabi naman na private school sa college na marami yung criminology, ang pakilala ko naman doon ay Anak Bayan. At nagpapanggap po ako na OSY para po nakakatambay ako doon sa malapit. Kasi pag magpakilala ako na student, magwa-wonder po sila sa akin. So, ganun po yung mga organization. Iba't iba po yung organization na ino-organize ko sa iba't ibang schools. And sa SCMP po, naging Secretary General ako ng SCMP noong 2001. Tapos, na-elect naman po ako na President ng Anak Bayan sa Eastern Visayas noong 2003. Kaya halos nalibot ko po yung mga YS organization, yung mga front organization na naipakita kanina. Nakapag-organize po ako noon. Kahit ang talagang organization ko ay Student Christian Movement of the Philippines. Yun nga, nakita nila, naabot ko naman po yung quota. Dami kong kasalanan. Ayan. So, na-recruit na rin ako sa Communist Party of the Philippines. So in just a span of 3 months, naging member na ako ng CPP at the age of 16 as candidate member. So as candidate member po, hindi na lang sa youth yung trabaho ko. Pinapa-organize na sa akin yung urban poor, yung teachers. So halos nalibot ko po yung iba't ibang sektor sa urban. No? At noong 2004 nga po, naging spokesperson ako ng Gabriela Women's Party. Noong
Habang lumilibot, umiikot ka, pag makasalubong ka ng pulis, hindi ka kinakabahan?
Hindi po sir, masyado po akong mapusok that time.
Mapusok?
Masyado akong porsigido na mag-organisa para po sa goal ko. For my
Wala sa isip mo na baka may naglaglag sa akin, baka
Wala.
itong pulis ito may alam ito tungkol sa akin. Wala.
Wala po sir. 3 beses po akong nahuli na nag-operation pinta. Nang mabuhay ang Kabataang Makabayan, mabuhay ang CPP. Pero naka-gear talaga yung isip ko. So natuto ako magsinungaling, iba yung pangalan na ginagamit ko. Sabi nga sa akin ng isang chief ng Tacloban, city director dati, "Huwag mo akong lulukuhin na, nagkabataang Makabayan ako." Sabi ko, "Ano po yung Kabataang Makabayan, sir?" Ganun po. Para maniwala po talaga sila na wala akong kinalaman doon. Pero sa totoo, yun sana yung isusulat ko sa pader. So, ganun po siya. Dahil sobrang active ko, naitayo ko po yung mga CPP organization, yung basic organization of the party sa mga schools na nabanggit ko po. Plus, umuupo po ako sa NYSB pag may mga major decision making. Kaya noong 2003 po, kabahagi ako ng founding member ng Anak ng Bayan Party List. So, bago po siya naging kabataan, Anak ng Bayan po siya. Kami din po yung nag-isip ng pangalan.
Sandali
na yun.
Iba yung anak ng bayan, iba rin yung anak bayan.
Yung party list ay Anak ng Bayan, sir. Ang Anak Bayan naman ay organization ng mga out-of-school youth. Bale,
Yung kabataan na ngayon yun, yung anak ng bayan.
opo, sir.
Thank you.
Bale po yung kabataan ngayon na dating Anak ng Bayan, yung nag-found sa kanya yung iba't ibang organization ng CPP-NPA na youth organization. Like SCMP po, yung kinasalihan ko, yung League of Filipino Students, yung Anak Bayan, si EGP at saka NUSP. Sila po yung bumuo nun. Pero, syempre po, yung mga leading cadres ng CPP na naka-embed doon sa mga organization na yon. Kaya nung mabuo yung Anak ng Bayan, kami yung nag-decide ng pangalan. Ang dami pong pinagdaanan muna na pangalan bago naging Anak ng Bayan. Eventually, binago din po siya after ng 2004 election kasi nako-confuse doon sa akbayan ni Senator Risa. Oo, nako-confuse pero we're different sir, party list. Sila po hindi sila nag-espouse ng armed struggle. Pero yung Anak ng Bayan kasi part siya ng ginawa ng CPP-NPA, yung tunguhin talaga ay mag-armas, no, yung end goal. Tapos 2004 nalipat ako ng Gabriela Women's Party List. Tapos tuloy-tuloy na po ako na kumilos sa urban. Naging secretary po ako ng Regional Youth Students, Teachers and Cultural Bureau ng Eastern Visayas. Ako din po yung humawak ng Regional Propaganda Bureau noong 2006 sa Eastern Visayas. Hanggang po na deploy na ako sa NPA unit noong 2011. So, naging front secretary po muna ako sa isang front sa Northern Samar kung saan may existing ngayon na guerrilla front pero na-dismantle na po lately. Sila yung pinakalas na na-dismantle. Yun po yung guerrilla front na naging secretary ako. Tapos na-elevate po ako as third ranking na rin ng Sub-Regional Committee Emporium. At after po ng second congress ng Central Committee, nag-congress din yung EBRPC, ako yung elected na ED officer, Deputy Secretary for Education, at nalipat kami ng Leyte. So, when I was in Leyte, ako yung secretary ng sub-region sa buong Leyte Island. And then, yun nga po, yun ang position ko na last bago ako nahuli noong 2020. Tapos po, nung mahuli ako, syempre, may mga pahayag po yung NDF, assume po sa screen natin, nang sabi nila po ako ay mere activist. Ayan. Pero ako po yung head, yung pinaka-highest ranking doon sa Leyte that time. Tapos, nandyan po nakasaad yung pagiging fifth nominee ko po ng Kabataan Party List noong 2013. Habang yung asawa ko po na CO naman ng isang platoon doon at vice CO ng buong SRC, ang sabi naman po ng NDF ay magsasaka lang po. Ayan. So, yan yung mga ginagawa po nila para i-twist.
Grabe talaga ang panluloko nitong mga tao na ito, no?
Yes, sir.
Hindi talaga mahinto yung kalokohan, no? Puro deception. Magsasaka lang daw yan. Pero husband mo yan,
Opo, sir.
na armado talaga.
Vice CO po ng SRC Lebok, sir.
By CO.
Opo, sir.
Nasaan siya ngayon?
Nagbalik loob na rin, sir.
Nagbalik loob na. Very good. Please continue.
Ayan po, after ko po ma-apprehend, I was in prison for 10 months at after kong ma-imprison, nag-decide na po ako na tumulong po sa gobyerno. Since naranasan ko yung sinasabi kanina ng mga kasamahan ko, paano tumutulong yung gobyerno na dati kong kalaban. Actually, nung first time nung mahuli ako, tinanong ko pa, sir, kung saan po ako sasakay. Sabi nung isang pulis, natural sa patrol car. Akala ko doon sa sa sasakyan na private, tapos i-chop-chop ako later. Pero hindi po 'yun nangyari hanggang na siya. In 10 months time walang may nag-torture.
Alam mo, ano naman maging interest ng pulis sa'yo na chap-chapin ka? Hindi ka mabibinta por kilo. Yung pulis, pag gagawa ng effort yan, kailangan kikita yan. Kung talaga sobrang effort, kikita yan. Hindi ka man kikita, bakit ka chap-chapin? Hindi ka man mabinta por kilo. Kaya, kasama niya sa pananakot, di ba?
Yan po yung naka-embed sa utak namin, sir. As part po ng propaganda, yung agitation, na of course 16 years ko rin na ginawa sa Kilusan yon. Ako mostly ng trabaho ko nasa ganon po na paulit-ulit, may mga torture na magaganap if ever ma-apprehend, so do not surrender. Yun, napatunayan ko in just 10 months, wala namang nangyari. No. Kaya yun, nag-decide na ako na magbalik loob. And then of course, nung lumabas na ako, napatunayan ko na yung NTF-ELCAC daw hindi siya perfect. May siya, may impact kung bakit maraming mga high-ranking officials na na rin, nagbalik loob.
Kaya siguro, pati yung mga taga-European Union na mga kung ano-ano mga international bodies ay nilapitan na nitong si PPNPA na ikampanya yung NTF-ELCAC na buwagin. Kaya siguro dahil talagang masakit sa kanila yung NTF-ELCAC, malaking impact yan sa kanilang pagiging yung kanilang status ngayon na pawala na sila dahil sa NTF-ELCAC. Kaya kahit sino-sino nang lapitan nito para siraan ng NTF-ELCAC. May isang European na parliament ba yun, member na parang rapporteur ang nagsabi na buwagin daw ang NTF-ELCAC. Sino siya? Sino siya para magsabi ng ganun? Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, nilapitan na ito ng mga CPP, NP, NDF para ipaglaban yung pagbuwag ng ILCAC. Ay yung talagang i-push forward yung buwag ng ILCAC.
Yes, sir. Kasi it's the first time sa ating history na orchestrated yung effort. Kasi the previous governments, iba-iba yung effort natin towards mainstreaming the former rebels. Pero nung dumating yung NTF-ELCAC, madali na siyang naha-harmonize. Na masyado siyang threat. Kahit sa akin po, na nasa ano pa ako, na nakita ko yung assessment ko nung hindi pa ako nagbabalik loob talagang napunting ng NTF-ELCAC yung
They
program
hit the mark.
na-hit talaga.
Hit talaga nila
Kaya
yung...
malaki yung tama sa CPP-NPA.
Tama, tama. Kaya ganun na lang galit nila sa NTF-ELCAC.
Yes, sir.
So, meron pa?
Yan lang po sa part ko, sir. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, no? Actually, kung nakita natin ngayon kung how difficult it is to formulate legislations para maiwasan yung maputol talaga itong ginagawa ng recruitment dahil nga merong gray area. Pero at least, for now, na-expose talaga natin yung proseso nila, yung kanilang panluloko, yung kanilang kasinungalingan na ginagawa para protektahan yung kanilang interest at magpapatuloy yung kanilang panluloko sa mga kabataang Pilipino.